our counts as 50 credit hours. And what I would also strongly recommend that the city council does, and Jerry recommend, is that anyone that's hired in this office for clerk or deputy clerk also at the same time go for their municipal International Institute of Municipal Clerk certification, because it's the same requirements from the same educational sources. And then they're internationally certified as well as state certified. But yeah, it takes they have to have 3 years of experience minimum for a clerk, 5 years for a finance. Sorry, I'm a geek on that one. I served on the certification board for several years, so. But
No,
yeah,
I'm just saying so that extension is a source of people who are either in the pipeline.
Already in it.
right.
Yeah,
There's not like a feeder pool necessarily, and I guess I kind of envision this person being different than what we're talking about. I think we're talking a little more about somebody like, hey, and I think Jerry said it at one point, like, this is, in a perfect world, your deputy clerk would be someone that could become your clerk if needed. Which I think makes a ton of sense. In my mind, I was thinking about this role being more of administrative based. Someone that maybe doesn't have desires to ever be a city clerk, but would love the flexibility of working in their town. And that pay range makes sense with the benefits, our benefits, what we pay for insurance is a huge benefit. And maybe they wouldn't necessarily be, the 20 to 30-year-old, they might be the 40 to 50-year-old or 60-year-old that just says, I'm good, I like this, I want to be here and I want to do this. I just wanted to say that because I'm not envisioning that we're getting somebody, striving to be a clerk necessarily at our pay range.
One of the things to consider, and I have not researched this, so is your ordinances. A lot of times the deputy clerk position is in the ordinance. And many times it is in the absence of the city clerk, the deputy clerk is the acting city clerk. But it may be with just bringing on a manager, it's probably gonna go back and forth between the clerk and the manager at that point. depending on How the ordinance is worded.
We don't have a deputy clerk ordinance in our ordinances, so. Or utility clerk
Good.
either, so.
After serving with deputy clerks that are both certified and both not certified, I appreciate the certification. As long as they're getting educated in the field, I appreciate having that deputy clerk understand why the ordinance is the ordinance, and we don't have the power as office staff to change that ordinance on the fly for somebody that's questioning it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I do appreciate that.
there's an abundance of training that's available, so it's important that we make sure we have enough money in the budget to take care of that need
Yeah, take care of
with all the departments.
Please.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Jerry is not a city manager, but he's a city administrator, right? Is that the new title?
Yeah, he fell into our existing code instead of going through all the code changes to adjust all the term administrator to manager inside of our code. When we got to the decision-making point, the word administrator, manager, and municipal world are way too convoluted, and it's all goes back to the way two governments were set up and the powers that the code gives to said manager versus said administrator. That has become more of a title in modern terms, but there still is two ways to lay out the manager's powers versus the administrator's powers. We weren't seeking Jerry to change the structure and the way our government ran. Mostly it has to do with hiring and firing is the largest difference between manager and administrator. Jerry is set up to where he has some of that authority, but in consent with the mayor. It's how it's listed in our code, I think is what it says.
Yeah.
So he can't act fully independently. He has to act.
It'd be a recommendation.
And like he said, those type of barring hiring, when it comes to hiring and firing, obviously, like barring some egregious
Yeah.
situation, most situations will include council's input.
But we're not gonna have any issues. Everything's gonna work out. It's all good.
Well, manager seems to be more powerful than administrator.
I think it's just a term, yeah.
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 it used to be a completely different form of government.
Yes.
Used a city manager, and that's changed over the years.
So I had a first from Sean, I had a second from Craig. We've had some discussion. Is there any others? Okay, all those in favor signify with aye. Opposed, same sign. And any abstentions?
Motion we adjourn.
Motion.
Which circle back, we didn't do any council comment portion under the.
Sorry, I didn't know you wanted a comment.
Well, I did, it just didn't, it just didn't want to interrupt the process.
Oh, you were
To
fine.
do that.
Go
So
ahead.
two quick things, I just want to make you aware of the Boy Scout, Eagle Scout project is moving forward and they're planning on building some equipment for the dog park in August. And I think hopefully I've seen some sketches, but hopefully they're gonna. He's got a construction guy that's his leader, so they're gonna be doing that in August and hopefully
What are they building, Ken?
building some playground equipment for a dog park.
Oh, cool.
So that's been already passed through Parks and Rec and they're in the process. Just wanted to know that's going on. So it'll be down, they'll be building, I think they want to do it down in Nelson Park, so. August, like 16th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 16th.
They just need to make sure that they get a hold of City Hall and make sure that the calendar is open.
Well, I think
Just in case.
talks like they had done that step.
Oh, maybe.
No.
We can
I
look
thought they-
because there is
I don't
somebody,
know, I'm just.
the Baptist church just came in about that.
Double check.
They talked to Park and Rec about that. I was at that meeting.
That's what you said.
I was at that meeting and they asked them about it.
That's the only thing I would, just so they don't double up.
Yeah,
It's by chance. And then.
we
Well,
can,
they can do it under the
That's-
tree. They don't really need the shelter. Out in the shelter.
That's one reason I said.
thing number two.
Well, the other thing was there was, I know some of us on council received a letter from Jennifer about a letter she got from attorney.
Yeah, we need to see that. We need to see that.
Be careful.
That needs to be given to the attorney.
I have, it. I can see it.
Thank you.
Forward on.
Yep. If you forward it to the city of Slater. No, this is an employee specific situation, and so
Okay, so
we would want to consider closed session and seek council's attorney on what that was. Nothing, I don't want the public, there's nothing nefarious about it. It's just simply protocol related to intellectual property. But it's an employee based thing, so I don't wanna
Right.
allude to. I didn't know there was one received. Do you know when it came back?
Yes,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we need that.
No.
Cause the letter specifically explicitly said where it was supposed to go back to, and so we shouldn't have been in the middle
So
of it.
we should just stop talking about it.
We'll get it to the attorney for their
The
review.
fact that it,
I couldn't read the letter.
for me, the
Okay.
fact that it occurred
I could
was
zoom in and read it.
was public knowledge.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and
I
probably,
wasn't aware there was a letter going out or
Yeah, there it is.
any of that, so
Yep.
I just wanted that to be a transparent thing in terms of everybody to.
yeah, just like just like standard protocol of any employee in the position that we lost, we have certain property that we requested back. I know you made direct contact asking for information. This was just the formal process to it. There was counsel consulted on that and we did send it out. We can't convene, so if you want to go one-on-one and talk about that with me after this, I'd be glad
I
to.
will,
I'd be glad to.
like I said, I just don't know the.
Yep. All right,
When you say council, we weren't all aware of it.
because I can't go and
Right,
I'm not gonna go and convene with all of you behind this closed session.
right. So,
We discussed in our meeting on the 28th about the information that we needed.
right, and the same question.
I just formally requested that, use an
Right.
attorney to formally request that information at the direction of the
Right,
attorney.
but for me, it's just I think a clarity thing in terms of us being aware that it's done or being done. Versus some being aware and some not. It's kind of the same thing. That's why I sent back a letter to you when I received the notice of this meeting, but I couldn't open it. And I sent it back to that. But that was, that notice to that meeting.
Can you have my phone number?
I don't.
You just call me. I mean, on anything, and I
But I-
apologize, I didn't call you independently to
okay.
tell you what was going on. It was
The,
just a formal step.
I
And
know,
they said, you have to take this step based on the situation. I said, okay, just send it, and my intent
right.
was that
No,
we
I'm
would
just
get our
saying the
information.
same thing is, I think in general, we need to make sure, just like the meeting that you sent to, I don't know, Craig and I, or I don't know who all was on.
I invited you both there because Steve, the attorney at Allers and Cooney specifically, that the two members of
You
council that were there originally,
I
be
couldn't-
invited back.
Right, but
Yeah.
my point is, I think those communications that there is a meeting should be provided to all council members for the opportunity to attend the meeting
No,
and know
because
that they're
then
going
you've
on.
convened and now you have to post the meeting and have an official
You have to
meeting.
meet the open.
So the reason there was two people is because you volunteered and you volunteered in an open session to be a part of that discussion topic.
Right.
This is a follow-up meeting on that discussion topic with an onboarding to him. The attorney specifically asked it for those two original people, so I followed and invited those two original people
Okay.
to the attorney meeting on Thursday.
Right, and I think this will get addressed when Jerry's doing weekly updates of things that are going on.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I think it's just a matter of,
I didn't have a heads up on it that went out. I know that, I think I was in on the discussion. And I get what you were putting in,
Yeah.
but the lawyer said, hey, yeah, this is what you have to do. And
This
you
is what
did
you
it.
wanna do based
All
on.
I'm asking is like, just say, hey, based on the lawyer, what he told us per the discussion this date, we did this, and that would be
Certainly.
like Jerry's. That would be like in Jerry's nightly update too, that action's taken.
Certainly, yeah, I haven't
I know.
I haven't been able to
Yeah.
provide weekly updates and I apologize. It was not
No, I-
malicious, it was
Really?
simply.
I expected daily.
It was just simply
Yeah.
checking off the list of things to do that came out of this, and it was
Understood.
not,
No, I
it's
totally
something we
understand.
needed to do to get
Oh,
our.
yeah.
I disagree. Like I said, I just wanted
Yeah.
everybody to be aware of
Yes,
all the
Yes.
different, of whatever meetings there are.
I'm not trying to,
But if somebody
not-
wanted to be involved in this meeting with Hillers and Cooney, that they would know that the meeting's gonna happen and they could choose to be there if they wanted to. And if that necessitated posting of a meeting, I don't think that's a big. It's not that big, this is a TIF thing, it's really a little thing.
it's just a review of all our projects, and there's questions related to this bond that
Right,
I never saw answers on. So I told them when they're coming to give Jerry the introductory meeting and meet with them,
right.
I said, we also need to go through the details on this.
Right.
And they said, please also include those two council members that were there with us.
Right.
So I wasn't gonna go advertise to the people who already said they weren't interested in being a part of it. So
We get it, it's transition.
the attorney letter I get, hey,
I
can you
actually
let me
wasn't
know? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't clear which
Oh, yeah,
that it was TIF, I thought it was dealing, I
Homes by
thought it was
Advantage.
maybe in doing with the two properties.
They'll do a holistic walkthrough on, for Jerry, it was really for Jerry. I was gonna be with Jerry, cause I've never had the chance to meet him, you guys had met him, I was never introduced to any professional partners, so I was wanting to meet him myself, face to face. And so it was gonna be Jerry and me, and then he said, can you do this? Cause they were gonna give Jerry the introduction and rundown, which then I would expect
Did you
Jerry
get
to
through your list
disseminate.
of? You know, Craig, did you have other questions about, you had a list of,
I had a long list, but
yeah.
I gave a copy to Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a copy, and I can tell you like, just looking at the list, going through it, like. 90% of those things are accomplished or dealt with or on the radar. It's just. And Craig obviously knows he can call me and we can walk through any of those at any time.
Taylor,
Yeah,
and to address some of the stuff that Ken's talking about, it's the communication stuff that Jerry and I have been talking about of enhancing and being able to have shared calendars.
yeah,
And so on and so forth. So as we start rolling out and depending on how big this IT project rolls for the city.
Yeah.
Hopefully the communication stuff's gonna.
well, it's the email thing too, right? Like for some reason Ken can't open this attachment that that Craig could open.
But
Invites.
it's still information and.
And,
Yeah.
incompatibility, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all of us, every council member, under the direction on the information. On the technology, every council member will get assigned an email and all the official business will be emailed to and from that email. For everybody's protection, so that we're not using our personal emails to conduct that city business that we've been elected to do, so. That's where we're gonna get to, it's just, it's a bigger giant technology deal, cause then you're talking about more licenses and stuff, so we're trying to move as quickly as possible to make Jerry effective.
Yeah.
But also not disrupt, so I apologize, I didn't let you guys know that went out.
No problem.
That's not a problem, I get it, I just.
It was just
Communicate that to you, that I just
Motion.
didn't have it. I made
Yeah.
a motion already.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad you said something because the attorney never received anything. And I had no knowledge that there was something that came in, so.
All right.
We've got a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all those in favor signify with aye.
I.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and abstentions.